I still remember every detail of that night, our first date, as if it were etched in slow motion across my mind. The cafe was busy, voices overlapping like layers of conversation, but when you walked in, time seemed to collapse. You wore that blue dress, the one that caught the light just right, and your hair fell in loose waves around your shoulders. I watched you pause at the door for a moment, scanning the room, and I felt my heart do this crazy little flip, like it recognized something it had been searching for all along. When you smiled at me across the crowded room, my nervousness melted into something warmer, hope, maybe, or relief. The way you curved your lips, so genuine and welcoming, told me that I could relax, that everything was going to be okay. I stood up, feeling suddenly taller and more certain than I had in days, and you rose too, sliding into the wooden chair across from me, as if you'd always belonged there. We ordered coffee, your favorite, that caramel latte with extra foam, mine black and bittersweet, and I tried to muster my best conversational opener. Instead, all I could manage was, "Hi," and you laughed, soft, melodic, and said, "Well, that's a start." In your laughter, I heard warmth and kindness, an invitation to be myself, awkward pauses and all. That sound anchored me. As we talked, I learned about the things that made you tick. Your love for late-night walks under street lamps, your fascination with old black and white movies, and that secret dream of yours to one day learn glass blowing. I listened, entranced by the way your eyes lit up when you described painting molten glass like liquid jewels. And I realized that night how rarely you find someone who truly listens, who leans in, who makes you feel like you're the only person in the world. I told you about my childhood summers spent camping by the lake, my dad teaching me to fish, and my mom's homemade cinnamon rolls waiting by the campfire. I described my habit of talking to my plants. Yes, I'm that guy, and you teased me gently, but I saw that spark in your eyes that said you thought it was endearing, not odd. Somewhere between our second coffees and the third slice of chocolate cake, we convinced ourselves to order because, well, life's too short. You reached across the table and brushed a crumb off my sleeve. I caught your hand in mine, and for a moment everything else blurred. The clinking of spoons, the bustle of servers, the flicker of candlelight. It was just us, together in a bubble of ease and laughter. Then came our impromptu walk. We left the cafe hand in hand and stepped into the crisp evening air. The city lights shone like scattered stars on pavement, and the world felt like a movie set just for us. We talked about everything and nothing. The plans we scrapped, the hopes we held, the silly hypothetical of what our pirate ship names would be. You laughed when I suggested Captain Cinnamon Roll, and I laughed when you proposed First Mate Firefly. In that laughter, I found courage. At one point, you stopped at a lamppost, tilted your head back, and closed your eyes to feel the warmth of its glow on your face. You turned to me and said, "I wish this night could last forever." I nodded, because I felt exactly the same way. I wanted to press pause on time, to hold that moment so I could remember it on rough days, days when the alarm clock feels too loud or the world feels too heavy. Later, we settled on a bench overlooking a quiet fountain, its gentle trickle a soothing counterpoint to our racing hearts. You tucked your legs beneath you and leaned your head on my shoulder. I wrapped my arm around you, feeling the soft brush of your hair, and you whispered, "Thank you for tonight." It wasn't just gratitude for a date well spent. It was gratitude for being seen, for being heard, for being valued. And in replying thank you, I realized I felt the same. Thank you for letting me in. As the evening wound down, I walked you back to your door. Neither of us wanted to say goodbye, so instead we lingered on the stoop, standing close enough that our breaths mingled in the cool air. I asked if I could see you again, and you smiled that gentle smile, one that said, "I'd like that," and offered your hand. In that moment, I placed my palm against yours and felt a jolt of promise, electric and alive, That first date matters still because it set the stage for everything that followed. It taught me what love could feel like: comfortable silence, shared secrets, and the thrill of discovery. It reminded me that connection isn't something you find in grand gestures alone. It's built in small details. The way you tuck your hair behind your ear, the way you laugh at my jokes, the way you lean in just a little when you really want to listen. Every time I think back to that night, I remember not just the coffee or the cake, but the feeling of warmth in my chest when your hand found mine. I remember how our laughter wove us together like threads in a tapestry, and how even the cold night air felt warm because we shared it. I remember the way you looked up at me with open eyes, curious, hopeful, trusting, and I knew I wanted to be the one who made you feel that safe every single day. So tonight, as I share this love letter with you, I'm grateful for that first evening. I'm grateful that you chose to walk into that café, that you chose to sit across from me, that you chose to share your stories and your laughter. Because in doing so, you gave me the greatest gift of all, a chance to love you. Thank you for that night. Thank you for every detail, big and small, that turned a simple outing into a memory I'll cherish forever. And thank you for every first date, every new chapter, and every moment of magic still waiting for us just around the corner. Here's to us, to our story, and to all the love letters yet to come.